Hello everybody, YouTube land. How's everybody doing? Let's take a quick trip back in history to the mid-1990s. Just about everywhere you went, you saw these different colored bracelets with 4 letters on them with a question mark at the end. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm referring to, the Wwjd bracelets. The message behind the bracelets is excellent. We should follow the Messiah's example. So what did the Messiah do exactly? 1 John 3:4 says, "Everyone doing sin also does lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. If the Messiah did not follow the Torah, what the Torah says, then he would have been in sin according to this verse. The Messiah Yahshua kept the feasts commanded in the Torah, not pagan celebrations like Christmas, Easter, and Halloween." We'll read Luke 22:7 through 16 to show an example of him keeping a commanded festival from the Torah, Passover. Verse 7, "And the day of unleavened bread came when the Passover had to be slaughtered. And he sent Kepha and Yochanan," Peter and John, in King James, saying, "Go and prepare the Passover for us to eat." And they said to him, "Where do you wish us to prepare?" And he said to them, "See, as you enter into the city, a man shall meet you carrying a jar of water. Follow him into the house he enters. And you shall say to the master of the house, 'The teacher says to you, where is the guest room where I might eat the Passover with my taught ones?' And he shall show you a large furnished upper room. Prepare it there." And going, they found it as he had said to them, and they prepared the Passover. And when the hour had come, he sat down, and the 12 emissaries with him. And he said to them, "With desire I have desired to eat this Passover with you before my sufferings. For I say to you, I shall certainly not eat of it again until it is filled in the reign." So there's an example of Messiah keeping Passover. Let's go look at John chapter 7, where he keeps the festival of booths or tabernacles. Verse 2, "And the festival of the Yehudim was near, the festival of booths." Verse 14, "And about the middle of the festival, Yahshua went up into the set apart place, and he was teaching." Verse 37, "And on the last day, the great day of the festival, Yahshua stood and cried out, saying, 'If anyone thirsts, let him come to me, and let him who believes in me drink.'" This was the last great day of the festival of booths, or festival of tabernacles. So we can see from these 2 examples of Messiah keeping 2 commanded festivals from the Torah, Passover and tabernacles. Another thing the Messiah did was keep Shabbat, or Sabbath. Mark 6 verse 2, "And the Sabbath having come, he began to teach in the congregation. And many who heard him were astonished, saying, Where did he get all this? And what wisdom is this which is given to him, that such miracles are done through his hands?" Luke 4:16, "And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and according to his practice." So according to his practice, he must have been doing it for a while, plenty of times. "He went into the congregation on the Sabbath day and stood up to read." If we go to church on Sunday, we're not following the Messiah's example. He kept Sabbath. The Messiah wore the tassels, aka the tzitzits. Matthew 9:20 through 22 says, "And see, a woman who had a flow of blood for 12 years came from behind and touched the tzitzit of his garment." It says hem of his garment in the KJV. It just means tassel. "For she said to herself, if I only touch his garment, I shall be healed. But Yahshua turned, and when he saw her, he said, Take courage, daughter, your belief has healed you. And the woman was healed from that hour." Matthew 14:34 through 36, "And having passed over, they came to the land of Gennesaret. And when the men of that place recognized him, they sent out into all the surrounding country, and brought to him all who were sick, and begged him to let them only touch the tzitzit of his garment. And as many touched it were completely healed." The Messiah did not eat pork or any unclean meats that the Torah considers unclean. There was no pork on his fork. The Messiah hung around a bunch of fishermen, so it's probably safe to say he ate a good bit of fish from time to time. Another thing the Messiah did that is overlooked is he fasted. Matthew 4 verse 2, And after having fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. There's so much power in fasting. If you want a closer walk with Yahweh, fast. When I come off a fast, I feel the closest to Yahweh at just about any other time. If you have a big decision in your life, fast. Yahweh blesses fasting. You can see that from a number of places in the scriptures. One thing the Messiah did was give the esteem to Yahweh. He did not esteem or uplift himself. Matthew 19, verse 7. And he said to him, Why do you call me good? No one is good except one, Elohim. But if you wish to enter into life, guard the commands. John 8:54. Yahshua answered, If I esteem myself, my esteem is none at all. Proverbs talks a lot about that, esteeming yourself. It is my Father who esteems me, of whom you say that he is your Elohim. John 10:29. My Father who has given them to me is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand. Yahshua did not esteem himself. He esteemed Yahweh, even for the things that he did. He always pointed to the Father. He was a very humble man while on earth. 1 John 2:1-6. My little children, I write this to you, so that you do not sin. And if anyone sins, we have an intercessor with the Father, Yahshua Messiah, a righteous one. And he himself is an atoning offering for our sins, and not for ours, but also for all the world. And by this we know that we know him, if we guard his commands. The one who says, I know him, and does not guard his commands, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoever guards his word, truly the love of Elohim has been perfected in him. By this we know that we are in him. The one who says he stays in him ought himself also to walk even as he walked. 1 Peter 2:21. For to this you were called, because Messiah also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that you should follow his steps. It's good for us to know what Yahshua did so we can follow his example. To truly follow the Messiah's example, we have to do what he did. If you eat pork, are you following his example? No. If you observe Christmas, Easter, Halloween, or any other pagan celebrations, are you following his example? No. If you don't observe Sabbath, are you following his example? No. To walk as he walked, we need to do what he did. Shalom.